Are we going anywhere this week? Huh? We're going to Germany?
No.
No. Are we going to Japan?
One ticket to Tokyo, please.
Huh? I think so. Yes, we're going to Japan because we're checking out a Canon classic. What is it? What's this? Big, giant, goddamn lens. Weighs a ton.
How big is it?
What is it? It's the 85 millimeter 1.2 L. See the red line? It's a USM Mark II. Is it any good? Yes. All right, well, let's find out how good together. Grab yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable. And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his little co-host Dylan, who's outside. He's gonna come show us some toys. Come over here. All right. Wow. What's that? Is that one of your new toys?
A ball.
It's a ball and a contraption that the ball goes down, and wow, isn't that super cool, huh? All right, so what are we here talking about this week? Just as the intro says, we're looking at a classic. It's a vintage, or close to being a vintage lens, because of the fact that it was produced in 2006. 2006, that's a long time ago, right? How many days ago from now? 2024, 2006. What is that? Is that 12?
10.
No. 10? No. Uh-huh. How about 18 years old? Oh my God. What kind of math is that?
Why I hate math.
Anyway, we're looking at a Canon 85 F 1.2. It's an L lens. It's got the magical red stripe on there. And it's the USM Mark II. That's right. It's a little better than the Mark I. It's the Mark II. And it was produced all the way through till recently, but they discontinued it because they've replaced it, obviously, for those who are keeping up with Canon world. EOS system, or EF system, has been replaced by the RF system.
What the fuck is that?
And so therefore they have an RF version of this same lens. It's version, right? Not virgin.
You must tie her down on a bed and spank her.
The version of this same lens. Now, this, obviously, the RF version, which came out just recently, is going to be a better performing lens than this one, because 2006, 2024, go figure, right? But the price tag is also different too, and the size and a lot of things. But anyway, the RF is like $3,000. This one, because they don't manufacture it anymore, you can't buy it brand new unless it's on a shelf somewhere brand new. But I bought mine used for like $500. I'd rather take that saving. Remember, modesty photography, all about tips and tricks about photography, but saving money is my big thing, right?
Cheap bastard.
So anyway, so this is 85 1.2. It is the master of portraiture, right? And everybody knows Dr. Scott's favorite genre is portraiture, taking pictures of my favorite model, Master Dylan. Mr. 4-year-old know everything in the world already, right?
With the animal.
Yeah, with the animal. Now he just finished putting together some. Go show us your animal. Go get your animal. Show us your pictures. So anyway, it was apparently somebody's birthday at school today, and they got some animal stuff. And come here. And this is what he put together. So, yeah, use your shirt as a napkin. That's nice. Clean the snot off of there. Very good. So anyway, so what is that? What is that?
Shark.
It's a shark. Yeah. So apparently there were some stickers You put them in the shape, and away you go. You got yourself. Dylan, stop wiping your snot into your. So now you're blowing. Go get a napkin. Go get a napkin. So anyway, the fun and excitement of being daddy on camera talk. What's the construction of this thing? It is 8 elements in 7 groups, so nothing special there. Its close focus is definitely not something to write home about. 95 centimeters, almost a meter. So it's almost like Noctilux kind of range.
Get the fuck out of here.
Out there, which you can live with. I mean, hey, it's an 85, so it's not like you need to get that close anyway. It has 8 rounded aperture blades, so it keeps its bokeh balls round, and we like our balls round, right?
Say, everybody haven't seen my balls.
You know, as far as you know, one of the things about this lens that makes it a classic is the fact that its bokeh is buttery. I mean, it's something special.
Rich, smooth, buttery bokeh.
Unlike our co-host, who's very special in a different way. And the last bit of specs for these things to really talk about is the weight. It's freaking heavy, man. 970 grams.
Holy crap.
On paper, you know, if you look up the specs in this on the website, it's even heavier. But 970 grams, if you weigh it, that's a lot, man. And you can feel it when you're carrying this thing around with you. It's actually easier to carry it by the lens than carry it by the body of the camera. Anyway, so it's a hefty one. It's full of glass. I mean, not only are there 8 elements in there, but they're hefty elements. They're thick elements in there.
That's how you use it.
So anyway, it's pretty heavy. One of the things that's kind of disappointing with it, because of, again, it's an L lens, and it was very pricey, you know, when it was brand new at the time and everything else. But there's no weather sealing, which means they thought that, hey, well, they're never going to use this out there in the rain anyway, so who cares? But hey, just because it's a portraiture lens doesn't mean you're always doing everything in the studio, right? And for the price point on this thing, what's a little rubber gasket? Doesn't cost anything. So anyway, that's one of the kind of the downsides, if you want to call it that, of this, is it doesn't have weather sealing. But I don't shoot out in the rain anyway. I'm not a big fan of standing in wet environments taking photos, so that's nothing for me to worry about. Other than that, it's great build quality. I mean, it's all metal, except for the lens cap, which is plastic, of course. But all metal body compared to your RF version, which is much bigger than this one, and it's not as heavy, but it's bigger. And it's all plastic.
Ew!
So anyway, hold on a sec while I shut the door to block Dylan and he's killing one of his toys with his panda doll, panda bear. So anyway, hang on a second. Where was I? All right, so it's again all metal. It has a distance scale on here, a little window. Again, I don't use these things. It was the same on my Batis lenses, my Zeiss lenses. They also have a window for depth of field and distance and everything. I never use them. I don't know anybody who uses them. So, but they're great decoration though. They look cool.
Whoop-de-fucking-do!
And the only other thing on here is an AF MF button, which is nice. The focus ring is fly-by-wire or focus-by-wire, which means it's linked to the motor. It's a USM ultrasonic motor, which was Canon's old school stuff. So the only way the focus ring works is when it's powered on, because it uses the motor to accommodate the turns. So anyhow, and it's full time. I mean, when you're in autofocus, you can still use the manual focus for fine tuning if you need to. There you go, living in Dylan's fantasy world.
And now for something completely different.
With the motor itself, not the fastest thing in the world. For the day, it was all right, and even today it still does the job. But you're definitely not going to be shooting any fast-paced, sports. Lionel Messi zipping down the field, deking everybody out with his balls.
What?
Well, that didn't sound right. But anyway, you're not going to be catching action with this lens doing something like this. This is for portraiture when everybody's kind of stationary and whatnot, and you can again fine-tune your way in there. And it's adapted. This is on a Viltrox adapter to my Sony, so I can take advantage of the face recognition and the eye focus and so forth on there. So it catches focus every time. Very nice. Other than that, it's plenty sharp. It's not the sharpest in the world. Again, if you want to compare it to the RF version, the RF one is sharp across the board from corner to corner. This one is sharp in the middle and a little softer in the corner, but for portraiture, that's perfectly fine with me. No big deal with that. Out in the sun or any bright light situations, you're going to want to use the hood. Which is a clip-on hood. I forget where I did when I put it. But anyway, it just clips on. It's not the bayonet style or anything, so you just click and it's on and you're good to go. Use that. Use an ND filter maybe if it's even sunny or bright, like here I am in Vietnam, right? Gets pretty sunny out here. So an ND filter is going to allow you to shoot in midday at 1.2. You can also increase your shutter speed to accommodate that as well and lower your ISO and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it's great for that. Great colors, neutral colors, nice contrast. Backlit situations, the contrast can get a little veiled sometimes, but again, all these things depend on the situation. But the bokeh is really its strongest point that people go, wow, I love this lens.
Sweet, sweet bokeh.
Because of the bokeh. I mean, the RF, of course, is going to have a little smoother bokeh, but that's because it's designed, with today's technology and everything, so it should be better. It better be for $3,000. So anyway, but it's still a nice bokeh. Some of the cons, of course, wide open. Now, this is wide open. Stop down, things are a little different. But it does suffer from from LOCA, the longitudinal aberrations. The green and the magenta foreground, background, thing. The purple fringing chromatic aberration thing can be, again, under the right circumstances, everything could have a purple fuzz around it. Again, stop down, that kind of stuff tends to go away. Has a little barrel distortion. Again, all that stuff is correctable in your software editing. Not software editing, your photo editing software can take care of most of that kind of stuff too. And vignetting, as is expected for a wide lens like this, giant aperture. You're going to get a little vignetting in the corner, little darker corners, which again, go away when you stop down. Sun flaring, it does flare.
Deal with it. Okay, and you're welcome.
But again, for creative purposes, that's a good thing, right? But if you don't want the flare in your photos, then don't shoot, with the sun on the funky angle, coming in on that 45-degree angle or something. Use the hood, use ND filters, stuff like that, and it'll take care of everything for you, for the most part. Other than that, it's a pretty killer lens. I mean, you look at that front element. I mean, that is sweet. That's sexy.
Sexy and I know it.
Sexy and you know it. The back element on the rear element is flush pretty much with the mount, so you do have to be careful when you're mounting this thing on and off.
That's what she said.
One way that I'm going to protect myself doing such a thing is by keeping it on the Viltrox adapter. So therefore, my rear element is up here, so it's protected by this thing. Because you don't want to be dinging your rear element. Arr! That's where you start getting artifacts and things in your photos. You can ding up the front element and it's not going to do too much. But Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you about this. And again, it's a sweet lens. It's freaking nice. I'm happy with it. So what I do normally to get you an idea of, you know, what it looks like. Obviously, I get some pictures of Dylan in there, but what I'm going to do, as I normally do, is take a shot of my Canon M50. Yay! Which is what I use to record these videos. And on the 15 to 45 kit lens, I try to focus in as best I can on the writing on the nameplate on the 15 to 45 EFM lens to see how sharp I can get it. So that's what I'm going to do. And let's get at it then. So I'm pretty much on the spot there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So that's at f1.2. Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's go 5.6. Just for that case. And let me lower my shutter speed so it's not so dark. All right, that looks good right about there. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think that looked pretty good. Yeah, all right. So, I think that's all I was going to show you with the lens. I'm talking about it. Now again, give you some real world samples. Give you some sample shots of Dylan. And so this is Dylan wide open at f1.2. And I think that was pretty much all I wanted to talk to you about with the lens. Is it a good lens? Friggin' A. Very nice. Can I recommend it? Yes, I can recommend it.
Yes!
Again, it's something that, obviously it's not a walk-around lens. Again, 970 grams, you know, that's almost a kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. It's kind of heavy. That's just the lens and the camera and everything else. Walking around with that sucker all day on the street, you know, you're gonna definitely get your workout. I'm here to pump you up. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Thank God.
And let's talk about my little plug for my photo editing software that I use. Dylan's breaking stuff out there, but hey, we'll check that out later. Who do I use? I use Luminar. Luminar Neo. That's right. And why do I like Luminar Neo? Well, for a number of different things. The first is the AI. I mean, it's full of AI. And how does AI help you out? Well, it does a lot of stuff for you.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Not that I'm lazy, but I just like to speed up my workflow, you know, get things done a lot faster so I got other things to do with my time, like a 4-year-old who needs to be looked after out there. So there's things like, you know, as an example, could be down at the beach taking some photos of some hot babes. And you know, you got those photos all done, you get home, pull them up on the monitor, and those hot babes weren't quite as hot as you thought they were. And in the background, you know, you see some birds flying around, see some spots in there, you know, and you're thinking, are those spots or are those seagulls? I'm not really sure what they are. Well, AI can analyze that photo for you using spot and dust removal, and it will determine what is a spot and what is a seagull. And it will remove the spots. Yay! And leave the seagulls alone. Well, that's pretty cool, right? Well, what the heck are those spots in the first place? Well, you know, you're taking lens on and off all day down the beach. Wind's blowing around, all kinds of stuff gets on your sensor. And you end up with a dirty sensor. Oh well, gotta take it home and clean it up. But anyway, these will clean the spots for you. What else it has? It has a similar feature like power line removal. So same thing, you're out there taking some cool shots of some old buildings and whatnot, and you see one, you're like, wow, this would look great over my fireplace. And then you get it home, you take it up, put it up on your monitor, and voila, what are all these fugly power lines doing here? So you click on power line removal and it will analyze your photo and remove the power lines for you. Now it's not perfect, but it will still, you know, it'll remove most of your power lines because it may confuse a power line with the line in the building, whatever. You may have to clean up a little here and there, but it's still better than having to brush out all those lines at once. It also has things like background removal. So if you want to remove this background and have me out there sitting in a river somewhere at a desk in the middle of nowhere, you can do that.
And now for something completely different.
Why I would do that, I don't know, but hey, it gives you that option. It also has sky replacement, which is nothing special. A lot of programs out there have sky replacement. It has masking AI. I wish it had Dylan AI.
You talking to me?
You know? And here he's living his little fantasy, whatever he's doing out there. He's fighting the bad guys. So anyway, get yourself a copy of Luminar. It's economical. Click on the link below and you'll get a $10 discount. That's right. It's economical already. So you get $10 off. It's even more economical, right? And who doesn't want to save 10 bucks? Well, what do they do with that $10?
Talk it out, man.
Well, they give it to me. So I can do the same thing, right? So anyway, get yourself a copy of Luminar. They're also the other, you know, I guess good deed you'd be doing by buying a copy of Luminar is supporting these guys. They're in Ukraine, and everyone knows what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. Nothing good, that's for sure. So, so do that. Help them out. What else can I say? How about you help sponsor our show? And I'm not talking economically or monetarily, unless you want to. Go ahead, send me your millions. But you can do it by subscribe. Oh, wait, I'm left-handed. Subscribe. Actually, get your mom and dad and everybody else. Well, also include your second and third cousins. And subscribe. That's right. What else does YouTube like besides subscribers? Well, everybody likes that. But I'm talking things like the thumbs up, right? Give us a thumbs up. If you give us a thumbs up, we'll give you a little taste of Dylan's girlfriends, the thumbs up girls. I'm surprised he's not rushing in here now saying, no, leave my girls out of this. But they have a little song by the band. I don't know the name of the band, but they have a little song that goes something like this. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. Aren't they cute? So anyway, get yourself a little thumbs up. Helps us out. Gets the algorithm going and more people get to see our videos. Anyhow, what else can I say? Well, who are we? I'm Dr. Scott. He's Dylan.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
And together we're all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage lenses, vintage cameras, vintage stuff, vintage Dylan. And he's come in with his police car. And that's about it. So, hold on. So do you think they should come back next week? Huh? Should they come back next week?
Bye-bye.
Well, he's saying bye-bye early. I'll say bye-bye in a minute. So, yeah, why should you come back next week? Because we do one of these each and every week, right? We try to anyway. And besides that, you belong here. And where do you belong? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott. And his little police fighting the bad guys host, Dylan. That's right. Remember, that's Vietnam time, right? It's every Friday, Vietnam time. So that could be the day before you, the day after you, or the same day as you. Just geographically depends where you are in the world and what kind of funky time zone you're in. So other than that, I think that's about it, right? All right. So thanks for dropping by. You're free to go. All right. Bye-bye.
Here I am,